just
It's
show
a two
up,
and a
right?
half hour safe
So
haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can
call it a
transform
private
your life
event,
right now
but then
on
it's not really a
VCMG in
celebration,
South
right?
Florida. Sarah
But
Spiritual
we could
is
make
a
it a
gifted
private event,
spiritual
but we have to
advisor,
decide,
coach,
and
and
you have to
medium
decide
who
if
can
you
assist you to connect the light
do what you
within
need to
and
do for my
transcend
center
beyond the limits of all
live for the
possible
radio show.
experience and knowledge. For the
We'll
next
answer
2.5
questions from the
hours,
audience,
listen and call
just
in
like we've done
toll free
before.
866-9
Nothing
Sarahs.
changes in our world,
That's
except
866
we can't get special ed to.
7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live
Well,
on
I don't know.
Facebook
Last
and
time we did it, he
YouTube
was with
and
you.
share love and light.
He came. Dan came to the center, right? No? Who sat with you?
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different
Yeah, it is.
now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart, the ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart? Open your heart.
Open up your heart right here on VCMG. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're here to spin our energy and create with all of you. And as we make the movements to what we require, as we create, we have to notice what we need to do to shift our energy. And in this moment, as we tune in and tap in, we have to be aware of what we're doing. We have to be aware of what we're saying. Your words have so much power. And I don't know what you've said to yourself lately, but you are creating a circumstance, a condition, a happening, an experience with everything you do and every word you say. So what is the conversation in your head? I don't know, but most people in their head have quite a few conversations. And some of those conversations are things that we've been telling ourselves for years. If you don't feel good about yourself, then your self-talk is not going to be a positive energy. And when you're in this positive energy, you don't attract negative things. But when you're in a negative energy, a negative self-talk, you're going to attract negative things. So a lot of times we're feeling frustrated with where we are in the universe, in our experience. And we feel like the universe has dismissed us, that we're not important, that we're not good enough, that perhaps it's good for someone else, but it's not good for us. Someone else has the luck, we don't have the luck. But what are you putting into your frequency and your energy every day? What are you talking about? Are you caught up in the energy of gossip? Are you caught up in the energy of self-condemnation? Are you speaking negatively about yourself on a regular basis? Are you stuck in a place that doesn't allow you to change your thought patterns and your words because you don't have new words to say? Tonight, we're going to talk about rephrasing, reframing what your self-talk is and how you can recalculate a route based on what you put out. So many of you tell me, Sarah, I've prayed, I've done everything I can, and nothing's changing. And then the question that I ask is, well, what are you doing and what are you saying? Well, I say my prayers and then I go about my day. And I said, well, tell me about your day. And they're like, oh, when I go to work, but I'm really frustrated because this goes on at work. And so in my head, I'm thinking, I can't wait to get out of here. It's so miserable. There's so much traffic on the road. And they start telling me all the things that bother them about the day. Now, yes, there will be things in life that are going to annoy us. And there will be circumstances and people in our lives that get on our nerves. But that doesn't mean that that has to be the tape that's playing in your head. Because you are giving that energy, and therefore what you are creating and magnifying around you is more of what frustrates you. So why would you want to talk about what other people are doing that bother you? Why would you want to talk about what the ride is like, how bad it was, or how much traffic there was? I understand it's an observation. You're observing what's going on, but are you really feeling so negative that you have to then talk about it for a half an hour? Because you cannot create anything great from the dismay and the dismissive energy of what is not working for you when you're looking to create something good. It just cannot happen. You are the creator of everything that's around you. And the key aspect of what you create comes from your mouth. Yes, your mouth. I know we like to think somebody else did something to us, but it's often what you have created by your own words. If you're not happy with where your life is, change it. Easier said than done. I know people say that. But if you're not happy with where you are, then what is the conversation that you're having with yourself? Are you telling yourself the words that will empower you to make a shift and change? Or are you looking at the belief inside of you that thinks perhaps this is all that's meant for you because you're not good enough? Are you criticizing the way you look, the way you talk, the way you act? Are you your own worst enemy? Many of us have been. There were days, way back when, if I were to look into my mind and think of all the things that I used to say about myself, I would be like, wow, where did I get that from? But somewhere along the lines of life and people talking to me or at me, I was led to believe that I was a certain way and that my intelligence wasn't all that, and that I probably was really lucky that I was pursuing music because that's probably what my best bet would be. Because we might as well entertain what you can do, which is sing, although those would have been the same people who said I couldn't sing in the beginning, but neither here nor there. And I was encouraged to pick something that, lucky for me, was a passion, because I was less than in other areas, or so they portrayed it to be. Later on, I came to my great realization that those words weren't true. So what story is renting space in your head and taking up the story of who you are and defining what you can and cannot create? I remember my greatest thing, and I always talk about my mathematical abilities, which were not one of the abilities that were praised. And when I went to college, I was in SUNY Purchase, New York, and we were studying solfeggio. Now, solfeggio is the work of conducting. So you really need to understand the rhythm of the song, and you need to be able to conduct the orchestra. So you would have to learn 4/4 time, 3/4 time, and you had to move your hands accordingly in a particular fashion, whether it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you needed to make sure that all the notes in a measure were recognized and accounted for. So essentially, they threw me into a mathematical class, really, in my world, that was all about fractions. So for the first few weeks, I was having a meltdown. I was having a meltdown because in my young mind, new to college, I was like, well, but they said I couldn't do math. And now they're throwing fractions at me. And I have quarter notes and eighth notes and whole notes, and it was might as well have said lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I was concerned. And then I had to sit back and remember my love of music. And I had to remember how I was able to perform and sing and hold a note for the proper amount of time. So why was conducting going to be any different? It really wasn't. And that if I could naturally have figured it out on my own, learning the ins and outs and the right properties of the notes, well, most certainly was going to be easy. And I had to talk myself off a ledge that I had been placed upon 10 years prior with my inability to do fractions and Lord knows what other mathematical problems they deemed I was incapable of doing. But mind you, I graduated with fabulous grades, but for me it was perceived that it was a struggle for me. And that gave me a belief that I wasn't good enough. And I love using this mathematical story often in a lot of conversations because it really honed in to my self-worth as to whether I was smart enough. And then that breaks down to what? Good enough. And whether I could measure up in a scholastic environment. But I did, and I could. And surprisingly enough, not only did I do well, but I exceeded. I exceeded all expectations. But had I listened to that story that was in my head, and that story that had evidence backing it up, and continued to speak to myself in the way that I had been spoken to. And perhaps it was to just literally feed what they felt I could do as opposed to what they believed I couldn't do. But somewhere inside of me, I knew what I could do. So I told myself, I can do this. And I began to disconnect from that story. But not all of us are in a place where we can disconnect from the story. Because what I was looking at was a mathematical problem. I was looking at a musical theory and the execution of that. And so once I learned the rules of that, I was able to do it. But let's talk about the words that you say to yourself that there's no one to have a book and show you. Here we've got this measure and we have this amount of time that this music is to be played in this measure. And so how are we going to break up the notes to make sure that they all fit and they each get their full value? I didn't have anyone to explain that. But when I did, I got it. But what if you don't have anyone to break it down? Because what if it's not so simple as something you find in a book? What if it's how you view yourself in your look, whether you're pretty enough or good enough, your self-image, whether you're likable? There's no book as to how to be likable. If you believe you're not likable or nobody likes you or you're weird because you've been bullied, what is that self-talk going to be? What is that conversation? And what anxiety is underneath the surface? And what are you choosing to focus all of your attention on, either because of that? Because when you don't feel good about yourself, and you're not in a happy place within yourself, and you're lacking in self-love, and your self-worth is not aligned to the true value of who you are, you're going to allow yourself to be taken up with a lot of petty, destructive patterns that are not going to allow you to really create. They're not going to allow you to manifest a life other than what you're drawing attention on. And things get complicated. It's the person who talks about something with their car, and they're so sure that something's not going to work with their car that their car dies. It's the person who is always pointing out what's going on in the road and how many accidents there are that then draws to them an accident. It is what you focus your attention on and what you choose to speak of that create everything around you. And it's not often that it's instantaneous, but at times it can be instantaneous, like that day, the next day. Other times it's this accumulation in the energy, and it builds what I consider a muck of negativity of the words that you've spoken and the words that have been spoken to you that have been placed in your energetic field, your auric field. And now it's become sticky and tacky, and anything and everything negative seems to just come to you because it has a place. It has a home. You have given it. And you have to reprogram yourself. You have to recondition your self-worth and conversation of self to reflect something other. And in the beginning, it may not all be puppy tails and roses, because you most likely will not believe everything that you begin to say. So you may notice that the traffic was there, but then you may choose to say, it went rather easily. It was actually a light day in the traffic world. I really got to work much more easily than I do in the past. I have in the past, so therefore tomorrow should be better. Now, I realize your words may not control every traffic pattern on every highway, but if you're still and you're in the flow, The universe is going to tell you to get off on an earlier exit and take you down a side road. And I know you may have GPS for that, but you have your own universal GPS. You have your own inner self that is connected to the divine that will always show you the right path. But you need to stop chattering about things that are not creating an outcome that you want. You need to look yourself in the mirror and take a good, strong evaluation. And yes, we all have things we want to change because we're evolving. And you need to have a grown-up conversation with yourself in the mirror with your loving words and say, all right, I know deep down inside who you are, and somehow you've gotten yourself off track. So from today on, we're going to choose words that empower us. And every time we find our words going off track, we're going to take the time to redirect our words and say it differently. And we're going to play a game with ourselves. How much better can I speak to myself on a daily basis? And how many fabulous things can I choose to notice? And every time I notice something that's less than satisfactory or perfect, I'm going to say, nope, that has no power here. Let me focus here. One of the very first books my spiritual teacher ever gave me to read was The Power of the Spoken Word. And it's a powerful book. And this, actually it's the science of the spoken word, but it talks about the power of the spoken word and how words begin to carve all the energies around us and act as magnets to bring to us everything we're talking about. So what has been bothering you lately? What are you attracting to you? I remember a long time ago when I first knew my spiritual teacher. I was very charged. My energy was very charged with a lot of positive things. And because what I would say would come to me rather quickly, I had become rather good at that. And I was facilitated by my spiritual teacher. It was very easy to do. I would be like, oh, I feel like I'm going to play a number and hit, and I would hit. I would say, oh, I'm going for this job interview. I'm going to get this job, and I would get the job. I would land a new account because I would say that I was going to land an account. And I would do a couple of prayers, and I just really believed that it was possible. And things looked like magically they came to me. Nobody recognized or knew behind the scenes I was carving this out in my energy. And I have to say that at the time, I cannot tell you that I was so consciously aware. I was just doing what my teacher had taught me to do and having fun with it, but I wasn't really looking at it as a science. I wasn't looking at it as a way to create. I was looking at it as, this is kind of cool. So there's one particular day that I was thinking about getting a new car. I don't know why it was so heavy on my mind, but I was like, oh, I think I want to get a new car. And I had put that out into the energy. And then I started to see cars that I liked when I was driving. And on my way home that day, I saw that there was a car on the side, and there was another car there, and it looked like they had gotten into a fender bender. And I was in Clifton, New Jersey. And I saw them off to the side of the road. And I said to myself, and I said it out loud. Now remember, my energy's charged. I said, oh my goodness, what a terrible thing to have happen, to have an accident just a couple of days before Christmas. That must really, really be horrible. Poor people. And I drove another half a mile, pulled in my driveway. And it was one of those days that I was feeling, you ever those days you kind of feel a little tired, a little groggy, a little draggy, right? And there had been a lot leading up, right? It's the holidays, so we can all feel a little groggy and draggy leading up to the holidays. And I realized I wanted to go to the pharmacy and pick something up. So I got back in my car. And I went to the pharmacy. I picked up whatever it was. I don't recall if it was a prescription or just something that I needed from that particular pharmacy. And as I pulled out of the pharmacy, there's a bit of a hill. And there's a lot of little hills, and the sun was kind of setting in a particular way. And I was at the light. and I was going to make a left. So in my eyesight, in my line of sight, in my way of seeing, I thought, notice I used the word thought, I saw the left arrow come, and I started to go. Now, I am now making a left turn through what's not a big roadway, but there's still several lanes. And there is a FedEx truck coming directly towards me, directly towards my car. And at the point of where I might have an impact with them, they're pretty much going to be head on with my driver's door. And the first thing I'm thinking is, what is this FedEx driver doing? How dare they be coming down the road so quickly? Don't they realize they're going to need to stop? I've got the right of way. Well, the angels must have been with me on that day. It was really weird. All of a sudden, my wheel turned. The steering wheel started to turn literally on its own. For quite a few days, I had almost like a burn from the speed with which the steering wheel moved. That was not my hands. And it felt as if somebody pushed the back end of my car, so my car was angled differently, and thus the FedEx truck just whizzed right by me. And as it whizzed right by me, it just missed me. And I just was almost clipped by cars that were coming from the other way. But don't ask me. I was fine. But later on, I realized that that whole mishap, yes, I had the sun in my eyes, and that can happen to anyone. And yes, I was feeling a little not focused, so perhaps I shouldn't have gone out, but I was more than capable of driving. But what had I observed just a few hours earlier? What a terrible thing to have an accident. And I was very emphatic in my car talking to myself, like, oh my God, what a horrible thing. And I really brought that to me. And remember, what was I telling the universe I wanted? A new car. Well, the universe was like, okay, well, make sure you don't get hurt, but maybe we might want to scrape you up a bit so you could have a new car. And after that, I did get a new car. And I loved the car that I got. But now, whenever I say I want a new car, I'm always careful about talking about a new car because I don't want my old car or my old energy to feel that I'm not happy with where I am, because I am very grateful and very happy with where I am. But for whatever reason, on this day, the stronger thought and frequency was my observation of something that happened to someone else, and my thinking, wow, that would be a horrible thing to have happened. And almost like, wow, that would be a horrible thing. I wouldn't want to go through that. That was almost like the feeling behind my words as I talked to myself in the car. And I brought this towards me, and it began to shift. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to connect with all of you all across the nation, and we're going to show you more how words can create. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We can't run away anymore.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the true Oldies channel.
Actor, not a real customer. Quote based on the healthy, non-smoking 44-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Welcome to Ethos, a new kind of insurance company that believes life insurance should be hassle-free, affordable, and accessible for everyone.
For around $1 a day, I got a 20-year, $250,000 term life insurance policy without a medical exam. All I had to do was answer a few health questions and snap, family protected. It was quick and easy. Ethos is 100% online. I got a quote in seconds, applied in minutes, and got coverage in hours. Just answer a few health questions. No medical exam, no blood tests, no hassle. Look, nobody wants to plan for the unthinkable, but it would be so much worse to not plan at all. So don't put it off. It feels great having the peace of mind knowing that my family is protected.
Ethos, the 100% online hassle-free way to get affordable life insurance. Don't wait. Get your free online quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ethoslife.com.
Hi, it's Kevin Dalton from the Unlimited Auto Wash. Did you know we have 7 locations, including our newest at A1A and Lighthouse Drive, next to Promenade Plaza in the Sunoco Station in Palm Beach Gardens? For just $39.95 a month for the first 3 months, you can come in as often as you'd like and get our inside and out wash with Tire Shine, all unlimited, and we're 100% hand wash. We make you look good. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit us at unlimitedAutoWashClub.com. And we're also a full-service wash for the occasional customer as well. No memberships required. Come see us at the Unlimited Auto Wash.
The following message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
It was an opportunity for me to put everything I was as a person into work.
They have so much to offer, and they need to be respected and taken care of and listened to.
Being an ombudsman gives me that opportunity to pay it forward.
For more information, go to ombudsman.elderaffairs.org. That's ombudsman.elderaffairs.org.
Your invitation to summer has arrived with 50% off everything for a limited time through Memorial Day weekend at Banana Republic Factory. Think breezy dresses, linen suiting, and more polished, sun-ready styles. Only at your nearest Banana Republic Factory store.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in to new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
And now another community first message from Robes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium. Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart.
Yes, indeed. It's time to listen to your heart right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on VCMG on the Oldies station, 95.9, 106.9, 93.3, 96.9, 1470 AM, and 103.1 HD3. We're answering your questions all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we are, my goodness, getting ready to celebrate our 14-year anniversary. And we have a very special date that you're going to want to listen to, and some very powerful prizes coming up for our anniversary. So we are not announcing the date yet, but you be sure to stay tuned over these next couple of weeks so that you can be in on being a part of our 14-year National Radio Anniversary celebration. We sure would love to have you be a part of this experience and, of course, celebrate you, the listeners, the callers. I believe we're on 863 live shows. I think that's the number now. And when we measure a show by a whole show, the whole entire hours. In the industries, they measure the show by every half hour. So considering our show was over 2.5 hours, right? Imagine every half hour, now times that towards 863. Think of all the actual episodes that we have done for all of you over the past 14 years. And we barely missed a day. Been a couple of rainstorms that tried to keep us away. A very rare day that I wasn't here for a reason or two that I chose not to be here. But we show up every week to give you the messages of Spirit to help you understand what your choices are in the path of life and how you can create the life that you want. And that we give you the guidance that is necessary. So your words, your power in your words, it's always in motion. So careful what you say in the days. Careful how you interact with others. Careful what you choose to spend your conversations talking about. Are you talking about all the things in the world that you don't like? Are you talking about what's not right in the world with people? Are you talking about things that maybe we've all observed, but are you constantly putting your energy in there? If you're talking about division, if you're talking about financial woes, if you're talking about things that are causing angst in people around you and or yourself, and you keep talking about that, then other things are going to crop up in your life that are going to not be satisfactory. And you're going to find that the life that you're trying to create becomes more and more elusive. And you slip down a slippery slope and you can't get yourself out. I could almost compare it to the interest rate of a credit card debt, right? So interest rates are going up, credit card payments are going up, things are costing more, right? We recognize these things. We see these things. This is the things that we see in the world, and I'm never going to tell someone to be uninformed. But see it, make a note of it, but don't focus on it. Don't keep talking about how horrible it is and, oh my God, what's going to happen? You have to realize that there's an entire universe supporting you. Do you want to choose the entire universe, or do you want to choose a governmental body or a group of people that are choosing to raise an interest rate, lower an interest rate? Are you going to check in with the universe and check in with God, or are you going to lose yourself in what's the latest thing that's being done in the world right now? Because we know if it's not this, then something else will be popping up. So are you going to run from one thing to another and always feel like you're in a state of angst because things are out of your control, or are you going to kind of take control back of your life and attract to yourself better experiences? That may be the way life is in the physical world, but you'll get the better version of how it's playing out. But if you keep lamenting over what's not right and the injustices, then you're going to be faced with injustices in areas of your life that you've never had before. Suddenly, the shining star at the job is now going to be a point of criticism with their coworkers. Maybe you'll get demoted. Things will start to happen, and you go, I don't understand. What do I have, a target on my back? You put the target on your back by what you were saying. I really want everyone to understand that now more than ever. And that's why I'm choosing to talk about this a little bit more before we go to our calls. Now more than ever, you can create what you want. It is easily available for you. You just have to not invite in all the things that are out there in the world to be a part of your experience. And you have to find a way to do it anyhow, in spite of what they say. So in spite of what they said with math and my mathematical ability, which was partly cloudy apparently, I was able to be very successful in music and read music and conduct and do the things necessary when I was studying. It was easy for me. But going in, my belief system thought it wasn't going to be, because I had adapted what other people thought of my abilities in a particular area that transferred into another area of my life. So what are you transferring to another area of your life that was told to you when you were 7 or 6 or 8 or 5? Were you told to be quiet and sit in the corner and not talk because you didn't make sense? What was told to you? Were you made to feel that you weren't as good as a sibling? So therefore there's this inner competitive edge of how you've got to really try to top someone to prove your worth, and you're always in this drive to get recognized, and you're really not focusing on what makes you happy? Are you trying to prove something to somebody else but not really fulfill yourself? Take a look at where you are in your life. And it may not all have caught up with you. It may just still be accumulated in the energy. So that's a good thing, because you can begin chopping away at those beliefs and those words and those things that were thought all these years, and begin to reprogram the energy around you so that it's light and airy and it has a magnetizing, a charismatic energy. Right? Wherever I go, I believe that something positive is going to happen. Whatever I involve myself with and whatever I choose to participate in, I believe something positive will come of it. When I choose to sit down in my work daily with all of you, I am of the belief that everything is going to be just perfectly aligned, and I'm going to know exactly the right thing to say to you, because I trust the guidance that I received to share with you, And I'm not attached to how I think it should be or my personal opinion of it. And I don't worry if I'm right or wrong in your eyes, because I know what comes through me is this pure, clear connection of what I see, feel, hear. And what I see, feel, hear, I'm able to express in a way that whether it clicks for you today or later, I'm not attached to that, because that is based on your ability to receive, your receptivity in the message. And what I love about the way Spirit works is the universe and Spirit give us this bit of information, this tidbit for you. And if you hear it, you hear it. And you hear it often first, the way you want to hear it. So you may be like, wow, that's some good news. That's great. She's saying that it's going to happen and she's confirming what I want. So you may hear it that way. But then later on, as it starts to happen, you'll be like, oh, wow, here are some of the nuances that I wasn't expecting, but Spirit alluded to that. But I was so fixated on what I wanted to hear from Sarah Spiritual's mouth that I didn't really hear all the other words that were creating a full picture of the outcome. And now, wow, I'm really glad. Flip side could be, we tell you something that you're not expecting or you don't want to hear because you're not ready to let go of something. And in that inability to let go of something, you automatically assume that I'm saying everything's not going to work out and it's doomed and, this isn't going to be all right. And you become frustrated because you feel like nothing ever works out for you. And then you begin to go down that rabbit hole in that spiral inside of yourself. But what you don't hear are all the words around what you think you're listening for. And that's why I always tell people, listen when Spirit speaks. Don't be so quick to jump in and tell us what you think you want to hear. Because when Spirit speaks to all of us, the universe is shooting to us this story of a grander version of what you could ever ask for. And when you're asking for something that is not for your highest and best good, the universe can give that to you too. But why go through the hassle? Be open to different possibilities than what you've imagined it could be. Sometimes people say they want to move, but they don't have the circumstances planned as to how that move's going to happen, and then they get caught by surprise. Or they're talking about how much they hate their job and they want to leave their job. And then lo and behold, they lose their job before they actually kind of pulled the lever and started looking for a job, and now they go into a spiral of panic. And then I say, why are you panicking? You were talking nonstop about how you wanted to leave your job. I have people I've read last year, and they were talking about things they wanted to have happen and things they weren't happy about, and now they're everywhere they said they didn't want to be and everywhere they said they wanted to be, all at the same time. And I'm like, but that's what you were focusing on. And often we have to let go of one thing to receive another. Right? We have to let go of the past. There's a song from Cats. Kiss today goodbye and point me towards tomorrow. We did what we had to do, and I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. And it goes on. But what's the first few lines? Kiss today goodbye and point me towards tomorrow. What you do, what you say, how you handle today is your tomorrow. You're accumulating energy. So let's check on the energy right here and see what's going on. Hello to our friends in Facebook, our friends in YouTube all across the nation. Share the page, share the love, share the energy. And be sure to put your questions in the feed. We'll be answering our friends on Facebook and YouTube's questions in just a minute. But tonight I wanted to take a little bit more time and talk about what we can do to shift where we are and program our energy. Because I don't know if you noticed, but yep, we're about almost halfway to the year of 2023. Where did that go? And so those of you I know who listen to the show, you have things you want to accomplish. You have dreams. You have goals. You're looking for your partner, your new work. You want to open a business. You're looking to heal. There's so many things that are on your to-do list, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And so you may be wondering why it hasn't taken off yet. Maybe you need to check yourself and check your self-talk. It's pretty important. So we're going to go to our phone lines. And I've got Alyssa. And Alyssa's in Illinois. And I have to say, Alyssa spent quite a bit of time kind of working on herself these past couple of years. And if I do say so, Alyssa, myself, you've come a long way. Have you recognized that, Alyssa?
Yes.
Alyssa, how old were you when you first started listening to the show? I know it was a while back, and I know a lot was going on. But was it almost 10 years now? How long has it been?
I don't really remember how old I was, but it's been a while.
Been a while, right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
It has to be at
You
least
probably what?
At least 7, 8 years, maybe closer to 10, right?
I would say I was probably 18. My mom showed me you, and I was young because she called about every other week. So that's how I learned about you.
Right, right. And your mom was going through a tough time then as well, right? And I know you weren't quite 18 yet. That I do know. Because I know you were in a vulnerable spot.
Strong trust.
And you were in a vulnerable spot, and you were really kind of caught in the middle of the battle that was going on in your family at the time. And look how much your whole life has changed and your mother's life has changed, because no matter how things appeared, you chose to focus on a different outcome and create that. Now, I know you've got a burning question for me, so what's that question?
Well, last time I talked to you, you said I'll be moving in May. It's May. I'm moving back to my mom's house temporarily. But I want to know, do you see me moving in with my boyfriend? Like, everything is working out and everything. Like, we're working on getting a place and everything. Right now, he's in Kiwani, and I'm here. We're working on each other, like on our own selves and everything. And we're like in a relationship, but we're distant. So we can work on ourselves and everything. Do you see us moving in together down there? Do you see everything like working out?
Okay. So before I answer the question, and I have a question for you first. Do you, Alyssa, see it working out? Because in this story, one of the only things that matters is what you see. Okay? I'm the confirmation.
Because things have been going good.
I'm the mirror of what the universe shows me. And I reflect it to you. But what the universe shows me is aspects of what you've already programmed. And then I get to see what's beyond that, that if you just hitch your wagon to that frequency, you can have all of what I see. So yes, there's a maturity level that needs to be achieved and accomplished on both of your parts. There's an understanding of allowing each other to be your own individual self and not allowing your insecurities to disrupt you and disrupt the relationship. There's a ability to let go of how quickly things have to happen, right? Because you wanted to move with him right here, right now. And we told you we saw you moving, right? And now you're like, oh, let me ask her more specifically, because yes, she's right, we're moving, but I kind of was hoping I was going to hear, you're going to move and it's going to work out. And the two of you are going to move together. But he needed a break. And he needed to get things together from a male perspective for himself, to build himself in work and career and finances. And he needs that time to discover who he really is so that he can show up and really be a partner and be a man. And it was difficult because both of you were kind of feeding off of each other's insecurities. So I do feel you'll be at your mom's, and I feel like you'll be at your mom's for a short period of time. I kind of feel like you're spending the summer with your mom. I don't see you just there for just a couple of weeks. I Really feel you're going to be there for the whole summer. I feel it's going to be better for you. I feel like it's going to help you and your mom too spend some time together. And I really feel that it's going to show you and your partner how much you really do care for each other and give you the ability to miss each other and give each other the freedom to not be doing one of these. Where are you? What are you doing? What's going on? How come I didn't hear you? You didn't pick up the phone when I called. What's happening? All of those things that people do when they're separate. Because their monkey mind, their insecurities start acting up. So this is going to be a test for both of you to trust that the love is strong enough that each one of you is going to do the right thing to honor the relationship and the family life that you wish to create. So it is the perfect time for the move. It is a good move, and I'm glad Spirit said it was May, and I'm glad you're moving. And I feel like you're landing in exactly the right place. And so now you've manifested the shift, and you're working on yourself. Now I want you to create the energy of what you'd like your life to be like in the future. And I want you to focus on the two of you being in the home together, sharing your lives, having abundant living, buying a house eventually, and having your version of a happiness.
What we want.
Yes.
That's what we both want. That's what we talked about. We both want a house in the future, but right now we gotta find a place. We want to be a family. We want to go on family game nights, family outings, stuff like that. And you described everything perfectly, because we used to attack each other. Like, what are you doing? Why have you not answered each other? Like, what are you doing? Like, why? And now we don't do that no more. If you don't text me for hours, that's fine. I trust you. I know what you're doing anyways. We don't do that anymore. We have been more mellow.
Good.
More trusty.
And that's important. And learn to trust yourself. Learn to love yourself.
Yes.
It's really going to
us
benefit
moving
you.
After summer.
I do. But as I said, it all boils down to what do the two of you see. You see? And as long as you hold that vision, everything can come together. You hold the vision, you do the work, you put yourself in the position of an outcome that is in alignment with what makes you feel happy and gives you harmony. That's what the universe will always support first.
I'm staying positive. He's staying positive. So
good. You're
we
on
both
track.
want our family together. Both love each other. So that's good.
It is perfect, Alyssa. Well, thank you so much for your call. Glad that you're coming along so beautifully. And keep us posted. Bye for now. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. We're going to go back to the phone lines, and we've got to go to Brooke, and Brooke is in Louisiana. Brooke, how are you doing? Been a time of some change for you, Miss Brooke. How are you doing? All right, perhaps we don't have Brooke on the line. We'll just move on from Brooke. Maybe she has us on mute, but we will continue. And we're going to go to Amanda, and Amanda is in Miami. Amanda, how are you?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, Amanda. I'm doing well. Good to connect with you. And what is your question for us tonight?
I'm open to receiving any messages from Spirit.
Okay. Amanda, what month are you born in?
June.
Okay. So the first word I wrote down when I heard your voice was change. The winds of change are upon you. Feel like things are being a lot of movement, so some chaos in the workplace. Does that make sense to you? Are they shuffling people and things around at this time? And that is kind of triggering you and making you feel very unstable, right? Like, oh no, here we go again. What's going to happen? I don't know. And it's kind of feeding in, and I feel like you're, the word I'm hearing is targeted. You're feeling like you're targeted. Is that true?
No, I'm taking the approach of observing and not absorbing.
Correct. But is there a place
I
or a
don't
person that you feel is targeting you or trying to make it uncomfortable for you? Have you observed that happening?
yes,
Correct. Okay, because that's what I see in the energy.
yes.
Okay. And so I see the targeting and I see the reflection of that person's feeling very threatened by you, and you're not feeling like they're having the best thought process. So right now you have to, yes, be observant and choose not to feed into the frenzy of the energy, because I feel like right now it's survival of the fittest. Everyone's trying to make sure that they're seen and recognized, and ideally that they have a spot in this new hierarchy that I feel like is going to unfold. I feel like June 30th starts this shift, and they're going to be doing some reviews and changes. And then when I take us through the month of July, August, September, the June 30th to September 30th window seems to be an important window for some of the reorganization that they'll be doing as they get ready to come into the fall, because I feel like they're adapting or creating some new methodologies, and they want to make sure they have all the right people and the right strategy in place for the execution of something different in your workplace. So you may not be privy to all of that story, but this is what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. And I also feel that as you get ready for your birthday that comes up in June, I really see here that the power that is within you is all about self-love and is all about attracting love into your life. So even though work has become something that has been consuming because it's been your main focus, I'm feeling that as you stand rooted in what you want and don't want in work, and therefore decide if you want to stay or you want to go, and whether you want to attract a new work opportunity, the emphasis from your birthday on, it becomes more and more about a primary partnership and relationship, because it's like you're feeling ready and you're starting to get evidence from the universe that it's time to really put your intentions back out there to create a partnership, a love relationship. Does that make sense to you?
Amen. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect sense.
And that's where you're at right now. So let work take care of work. Decide what you want to participate in. If the direction with which the company is going is not good enough for you, if you're not getting the raise that you want in your evaluation, then you deserve more. You've worked hard for your degrees. You deserve to be recognized. Then, Amanda, look to what you want to create so that you can find the right opportunity so that you can have the job that you desire as well as the love partnership that you desire. All right?
Beautiful. And I just wanted to let you know that the New Year reading that I had with you, it's all unfolding the way you said it would. That's why I'm observing, not absorbing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well,
So
we're glad that you followed the prompting of Spirit. Thank you for the confirm on your part for us. We always know Spirit's right. It's just sometimes we don't recognize all the details until they unfold. So we're appreciative of you giving us that feedback. And I know it's going to be a good second half of the year. And I do feel that the wound in the physical body is healing well. So you should be feeling more able to stand strong and stable in your body as well.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we would love to hear from you and answer your questions live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and right here on the Oldies station. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on VCMG on the Oldies station on 95.9, 93.3, 96.9, 106.9, 1470 AM, and 103.1 HD3. So there's so many ways that you can hear us. You can listen on the iHeart app. You can catch us in your car as you're cruising down the highway all throughout South Florida here. And of course, you can go to Facebook or YouTube and watch the show live. And you can even go to sarahspiritual.com and go to our radio page. And there you can see the show live as well. So we love connecting with all of you all across the nation. And we love when people come to visit us at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We are located in West Palm Beach off of Okeechobee Boulevard. So I do hope you visit my website, sarahspiritual.com, and there you'll learn more about all the products and the incense and the crystals and the books and all types of fabulous spiritual items that we have available at our Enlightenment Center. And we are counting up for our 14-year anniversary, so please be sure to listen up next week as we unfold all the details for a celebration I think you want to be a part of. We've got some fabulous prizes, and we're going to have a real good time. So if you want to put on your boogie shoes and come aboard and really come and celebrate with us, we would love to have you. We are going to go to our friends on Facebook and YouTube and pop in and answer a question or two before we go back to our phone lines. And there we've got calls all across the nation. We've got Chicago, Wisconsin. We've got here in South Florida. But let me take a look and check on my friends and Facebook and YouTube. And what are our questions there? Let's see what they put up for me on the screen. Let's take a look. All right, we've got a YouTube question. And we've got Liz Ann of London. So, Lizanne, we got you in London. And she gives me her birth date. She tells me, Sarah, can you tell me what's coming up for me? Well, I'd love to tell you what's coming up for you, darling. And when I look at the energy, the first thing I see around you is that this year truly is all about you spreading your wings and clearing out the old energies that don't serve you. It is a time to close doors on things that are just done with you. And if 2022 was a little uncomfortable for you, Liz, then it's all right, because things are going to change in this year. And the closer I take you to the end of the year, the freer you feel. And if there was a thought or an idea that you may want to move or do something special to your flat, if you're staying, then I see some changes internally. But I do feel that there is a move that's around you. So if a move presents itself, it's going to be a good move for you. And you really are a big thinker. So think outside the box, my darling. And June is a great planning time for you as to what you'd like the end of the year to be as you step proudly into 2024, which is really going to be a heart-centered year and a year of you exercising all of your personal power and creation. So thanks so much, Liz Ann of London. Great to have you here. Thank you for listening to the show. Who else do we have here on our Facebook or our YouTube channel? We've got a Facebook. We've got Tracy Latome. And Tracy says, hey, Sarah, do I have some good vibes? I think she's looking for good vibrations about a new venture with an Airbnb management. And she says, namaste. And she gives me her information. So careful what we agree to. I feel like our lines and our T's are not crossed with our lines. Our I's are not dotted. The lines of communication are not quite fine-tuned enough for me to say, yes, let's get this venture off the ground. I feel like there's still two more things that you really have to iron out before we take flight in this Airbnb venture. And it may have something to do with the finances behind it. But I do feel like it's a great direction for you to go. I do get a positive vibe from this. I just don't want you to rush into it. I want you to make sure everything's solid and secure and grounded, and that you've done your due diligence before you leap forward. I feel like this has been in the thought and the planning stage for a while. We need to really exercise our ability to see the whole picture and really examine all of the necessary steps to make sure that we don't skip one so that we have a truly successful venture. And then I feel it's going to be a good experience. So thank you so much, Tracy, for your question. Be sure to keep us posted and let us know where your Airbnb is going to be. You never know where I might pop up. Thanks so much, Tracy, for your Facebook question. We're going to pull one more from our Facebook and our YouTube page before we go to our callers on the board. So I've got Angela Heaven. And Angela Heaven, she says, hey, asking, should I take a job opportunity that a former coworker contacted me about? Right there I get this first. Should you leave and go somewhere else? And I don't know. I don't feel this. Well, I know what I know, right? Because I feel what I feel. But I don't know. There's a question mark here. And the question mark makes me feel as if when I look at where you are in this journey and I examine the ability for you to get out of the box and break the mold and get out of your routine, I feel like you are ready for change. But I don't know for sure that we need to go with the coworker. I just feel like that may not be the best alliance for you in this new environment. And if she's just recently relocated to this new job, say the past 3 months, 4 months, that's what it feels like to me. As I see that in the energy, you may want to give it a little bit of time, because I feel like there may be something even better, that blessing was for your coworker, that you, my darling, have your own blessing coming up. You may want to hold off and see what else the universe presents before you jump ship and go where someone else is, because God may have something better for you. keep us posted, Angela Heaven. Give this some deep heart meditation and consideration. And I do feel that by the end of this month, coming into the first week in June, you will have a sense of peace over which way you'll go. But we're kind of saying, hold off. Just give it a bit of time before you make that choice. I feel like something else will pop up for you. Thanks so much for your Facebook question. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and it looks like we do have our Louisiana call. I got Brooke, and Brooke is in Louisiana. Brooke, how are you doing tonight?
I'm
Good to have
doing
you.
good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And you would be one of the people that I would love to speak to for a moment about your words and what you've said and how far you've come. Again, Brooke, I know you've been listening to the show for a while, and I thank you for following up with us and calling in and asking your questions. And I thank you because it's callers like you and listeners like you that have brought this show the recognition and the success that it has over all these years. But I have to give you your kudos because when I first connected with you years ago, you would be another person who was kind of really, the glass was half empty and you weren't sure things were going to work out and you were in more of a woe is me kind of place. And you've learned to watch your words and manifest and create things different by how you position your thought process and your verbiage around what you would like your day and your life to be like. And even though I know things have not lined up exactly the way you want yet, and I use the word yet because it is coming, I just feel that you have gotten out of your own way, and now that you've gotten out of your own way and your own negative self-talk, because of your own negative self-image that you were carrying around like a bag of bricks, things are starting to open up for you, and you're a little more courageous when a new opportunity comes so that you can make a change. Does that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense to me, Sarah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I say bravo. Bravo to you because you've come so far. Like, I feel as if you've grown up in a way, even though I know you're grown up already. But I feel like you've gone through this major metamorphosis and that you're ready to take flight. And even though I feel there's a sense of limitation that still haunts you, you don't feel flexible and free enough financially to do what you want yet. It is opening up for you. And I do feel financial rewards coming in the workplace. I do feel growth coming for you. You're looking for new work at this time?
I am in the same position I am, but hopefully to move up in the position where I'm working.
I see growth. I see new work, a new job. I see more responsibility. I know it'll take a bit of time, but I feel like they're recognizing your talent and what you've accomplished. Brooke, what is your burning question for us tonight?
My burning question, well, I'm just curious about what's to come, and I've been praying. I was listening earlier, and like you said, I've been praying myself, and I'm just ready to know what's going to happen. I've had a lot of bumps and hiccups during the beginning of the year so far, but just praying what's going to happen in the coming months, you know?
Well, the next 3 months really give you more stability, but there's also a question about love. Is that also true?
It is.
Okay. Because
There
my
is a
guides
question
are
that comes to love.
my guides are telling me that there's this energy of love in the background, right? And I hear this song for you. Love, where are you? Why don't you come to me? Love. Right? So you're looking for love, but you've been learning to love self. And I know that you've had some imbalances in your health. Yes, we haven't felt so well in the past few months. Is that true? We feel out of sorts?
Yeah, I have been feeling a bit out of sorts.
Yeah. That too is going to begin to shift for you. I want you to make sure that you're talking to the right people to help you. And I also feel that there's a move that you want to make. Is that true?
It could be. trying to figure out what it is, though.
Are we living with someone else at this time?
No, I finally got the strength, and I'm on my own now, and I'm so happy.
Perfect. Yes, because I know we had talked about, I don't know if you were with your mom for a while or someone, right? And so we have accomplished that. So this is the beginning of a lot of new beginnings for you. So it may not always be easy because it all lands on you, but you are going to be okay. And there's going to be an evolution in your financial world, as well as you're inviting love in to your life in this next few months. So be open for that energy and look for it. Look for it to give you the indicator that it's present in the energy, and then believe that it's coming. And in the believing that it's coming, you will attract it in the perfect time. It's going to be a good rest of the year for you, Brooke. You might have gone in a little rocky, but you were closing out a lot of old stuff, just a lot of gunk that you've been carrying around for years, and some of it was very much linked to your self-talk of not feeling good enough and smart enough and measuring up and feeling inadequate at work. There were a lot of emotions that were going on with you over the past few years. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
and
we're clearing up that gunk. Yes.
Now.
So we're just clearing the energy so new energy and shifts can come for you. We thank you so much, Brooke, for your call, and keep us posted. And we trust that we have been of service to you tonight, yes?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Sarah, as always.
Thank you for listening to the show. We appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
866-972-7247. We're so excited to introduce products all the time at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. And one of my new favorite products, favorite products, is our money spray. Our money spray helps program and condition the energy all around you to attract this fabulous flow of abundance. And as you program the energy and you believe its action is acting along with your words and your thoughts, it really attracts to you this fabulous flow. And there's a blend of herbs and oils that create this fragrance that is sacred to the smell of money. Did you ever smell money? It's got a certain kind of vibe and a feel and a smell. We've got a fabulous money product line, but I just love this new spray. Our number one product is our original product, which is our money oil that we have been making since 2006. And I got to tell you, we cannot keep that product on our shelves. You put a little money and you put it on your hands and you make it happen. Matter of fact, I was out this weekend and I used some of my money oil on, well, let's just say the Hard Rock Cafe and we really got to know each other, and my money oil really knows how to work. And we're really glad that when I get to use my product, I get to see how well it works. So you can use it for things having to do with money. You can put it on your hands. And even when you pay your bills, have some on your hands and pay those bills, and know that as you release the money, tenfold is going to come back. Always know that as you release money into the universe will repay you with even more money, and that there's never a hiccup. That money always flows to you with ease and grace. And just trust that there'll always be enough and more as long as you're open and receptive. Well, I'm open and receptive for a commercial break, and I know my sponsors would appreciate that as well. So we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to go back to our phone lines. We've got calls in Chicago, Wisconsin, all across the nation. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the true Oldies channel.
It's Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands. That's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050.
Join us for Moments of Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Turn your home into restricted airspace. Tell incoming flights you want them diverted. The new Raid Essentials light trap plugs into the wall and uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. Its 24/7 continuous attraction provides insecticide-free protection that's people and pet friendly. Consider air service interrupted. New Raid Essentials light trap. Insecticide-free protection.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
And now another community first message from Robes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways
Yes, indeed.
that
Listen to your
once
heart. We are answering your questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah at 866-972-7247, all across the nation. And we're talking about the power of your words and the influence your words have to the energy, and the energy that is created around you is a result of what you're focusing your attention, your words, your thoughts upon. So be careful. What's coming out of your mouth on a daily basis? You may want to check yourself. Those of you just joining us, be sure to go to the first part of the show. You can catch it on YouTube and Facebook in the replay and get a heads up as to how to master your words and how to co-create with the universe by directing your energy with the positive outcomes that you desire, by noticing the things that are good and focusing your verbiage on things that are a positive outcome, instead of complaining about what's not working. We really need sometimes to check ourselves. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we thank our friends on Facebook and YouTube for sharing the page, sharing the like, sharing the love. And we'll be answering more questions on Facebook and YouTube in just a bit. But for this minute, I've got people on hold on our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got to go to Edwina. Edwina is in Port St. Lucie. Edwina, how are you tonight? Good to have you here.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am good, Edwina. Good to connect with you. Edwina, what is the questioning that you have for us tonight?
I've been working hard to open a small business online. As I get closer and closer, the more nervous I get.
About opening the business online?
Yes.
And the cause and the concern is that it may not be successful. You may have wasted your time, tied up some money in a way that may not prove financially rewarding. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And the business that you're doing online, this is a business that promotes a product, yes?
Correct, yes.
And the products are something that we're having them drop shipped?
Yes.
So the key to all of this is going to be feeling confident in what you've selected as the product that you want to sell online. There's a lot of people selling things online, but you have to pick a product that's in demand. And I know that you've done your due diligence and your research. And you can also switch up some of the products. You're not just going to carry a few, right? You're going to start with a few and then grow the company, correct?
Correct.
And when I look at the energy around this and where you are, this is the year that if there was ever a time for you to get out of your routine and be creative, you couldn't have picked a better year. And as I move you into 2024, which will be here before we know it, I say to you that this 2024 is about networking and connecting with people and forming communications and community. So you're on track with the journey of your soul. And the 2025 year looks very fortuitous for you. And so as I see this energy unfolding for you, it's being in the mindset that we have put in the time and the energy, we have done the research, and we have to trust. And if something appears not to be working, then we have to roll up our sleeves and just move ourselves in the direction of making adjustments till we get the success we desire. Success comes, I want you to hear this and everyone, success comes from a lot of good old-fashioned hard work, right? Success does not happen overnight. You have to show up. You have to be diligent. You have to promote this website. You have to direct people to where your products are. You're going to have to create a flow around you, whether it's through a Facebook or an Instagram, however you're going to promote this product or these products. You have to create this energy of look where I am and look what I have, and this could be a benefit for you, and really sell the sizzle of the items that you have online. And sales is simply a transference of feelings. So something made you choose these products, whether you're enthusiastic, you feel they're youthful, they have something to offer people, however you perceive them to be. That's the feeling that you're going to share with others, right? And you are the Pied Piper asking others to follow. This is great. Now, I know someone was a Pied Piper that encouraged you to do this, and so you fed off of their energy and their enthusiasm about build a business online. This could be very successful, right? Someone introduced you to the idea, and it resonated with you. Is that true?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So if they could do it, you could do it, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I want you to focus on. But you don't have to do it exactly their way, because you, Edwina, are your own person, and you've got your own skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
So you follow the model and the methodologies that have been proven to work across the board, but then you find a way that works for you as well. And they have given you the template of success thus far. Now, is this something that we're doing through Amazon?
No, we're doing it
E-commerce?
on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And it is something that we have that's being created on demand, or the product is already somewhere waiting to be shipped?
The product is somewhere to be shipped.
Okay, perfect. So get yourself out there. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by trying, okay?
Gotcha. Thank you.
You have to put yourself out there. Thank you so much. Remember, I am the woman who is successful, and business and sales flow to me with ease and grace. I am powerful, and I am the magnet of powerful opportunities. Therefore, I am a success. Remind yourself of that. Thank you so much for your call. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. We're going to open up some more phone lines in just a minute. And we're going to go to Anton. Anton is in Chicago. Anton, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you, Anton. And this year represents a time for you to really line up to your soul. And I know you're never too late to learn your soul's purpose, your meaning for life, and really make sure that everything aligns with you. And you've got a good energy that has really taken you through quite a bit of change over the past few years. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
And when I take you back, and I got to go back, and I'm going to go back to 2014 into 2015, was this a time of change? Were you making some major shifts? Because it seems like that's a shift time in your life. I'm going to take you back about 7.5 years. Does that make sense to you as well?
Yeah. I think I was going through a lot.
Mm-hmm. And my guides were like, well, every few years it seems that Anton's always going through a lot, but you always come out ahead is what they tell me, right? Like, my guys are like, he's been doing that for years, Sarah. But the best part of this is that you've, I hear a song in my head. So you ready? Gray skies are going
I'm ready.
Cheer up, put on a happy face, right? So they want you to put on a happy face, and that's what you've learned to do, right? Spread sunshine all over the place and put on a happy face. That's what I hear in my head. So nobody really knew what Anton was going through when Anton was going through it, is what I hear, yes? And there's a lot of energy connected to you, a lot of power behind you. You know, you always land on your feet, and I swear you might be part cat because you've definitely used up your 9 lives. But I want you to hear what universe has to say. This year is the year that your soul really aligns with a better sense of purpose. And I feel like there's things that are not done and undone that have to be done, is what they tell me. So they make me feel like you're trying to get things together for yourself so that you can have a next second half of life. It's like you're kind of planning that phase in your life. Does that make sense to you?
That's awesome.
Anton, how did you hear about the show?
That is awesome.
How did you come to find me?
A friend of mine told me to just give you a call, just to, and get what I'm getting, I guess.
And get what you're getting, right? Absolutely. But my guides tell me that you're very intuitive and you're really good at sizing people up, and you got a little of your street smarts going on with you, right? So you have a way of kind of reading people in your own. And my guides are showing me the financial world and things that are to come for you. I feel like we're building some new pathway of abundance, because I feel like maybe the money's not flowing the way you want because I kind of feel like it's stretched. You feel like you're stretching and you want to replace some monies and get something flowing, and so you're thinking of ideas of something that you can bring in the money, please. Is that something that your mindset is on? Because it feels that way to me.
Yes, that's true.
And as you set your intention for this, think big. Think really big. You can definitely do something that's like your own project, your own baby, your own flow, all right? And people trust you, they believe in you, they follow you, so you have something to offer. So whatever path you're about to pick, which I feel is going to unfold over the summer, I want you to know that you have the backing of the angels and God behind you in this movement. Anton, is there a son connected to you? Somebody was talking to me about a son. Is there a son? Do you have a son, please?
A son?
Yes.
A child? You mean a child?
Yes, a son. Yes, S-O-N. Yes.
No. I don't. I have 4 grandsons.
Okay. Is one of them like a son or really close to you? Or they're talking about a son, so it could be the grandson, but they're giving me this word son, S-O-N. So is there a grandson that we have a question about, a concern, or one that we're particularly close to that you'd like some insight on, please? Because it just kind of came to me from spirit, and it stayed with me this whole conversation we've had thus far. So I have to ask the question because it's there in the energy. So this would be your daughter's daughter's children, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the question that may come up for you when we talk about grandsons?
I just want my grandson to, just trust God more. Just as long as he got God in his life, I think he'll be okay.
Yes, well, absolutely, right? We have to trust God, right? Because that's where all things are possible. And there's who's connected to the month of April? Is there someone connected to the month of April around you, please? They're giving me the number 4, the month of April, please. Who's that?
There's someone around me. No, I can't think of nobody in April, not that I can think of.
Okay. There's somebody connected to April. It's a birthday, a passing anniversary. There's someone connected to you, around you in the energy here. So I can only give you what they give me, but they're giving me the number 4. So somebody's birthday or passing anniversary is in the month of April, something connected to them that's significant with the month of April around you. So if you cannot place it now, sometimes that's all right because it'll come to you later, but just know. And I also made aware of a trip that's coming for you. Do you have a trip coming?
I would like to go on a trip. I mean, it's been in my mind to go on a trip. Yeah.
Okay. I see a trip coming.
I spoke with someone.
Yes. So make those plans. Trust the universe is going to support you and that there will be a trip for you coming. And any ideas that you have towards business, nurture them and work with them so that you can create additional income for yourself. And this year is going to be a year of self-examination, really tuning into your soul and God's purpose for you. and really showing up to be the best possible light in the world that you can be. And there's a lot of good fun and times that are coming for you. We hope we've been of service to you, and this has been a good experience
you're so
for you.
awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Anton, and thank you for calling. Yes.
I want to ask you one thing.
Yes.
I'm in a new relationship. What do you see with that?
You're a lucky guy.
Okay.
I see a positive energy around
that's awesome.
that. So enjoy the connection.
Okay.
I feel like everyone's showing up for the right reasons. And we're in this energy of getting to know you still. Yes, right? So we're getting to know the ins and outs of a person. And you, my friend, are a creature of habit. So you're set in your ways and you're a little particular. I know. But it's okay. This person seems to be very transparent and very authentic. And this is important to you. So learn to not nitpick on some of the small, don't sweat the small stuff. They've got a good heart, and I really feel like the two of you can have some fun together. I feel like there's a lot of laughter, a lot of connectivity for the two of you. All right,
Thank you
Anton.
very much.
You're welcome, Anton. Thank you so much for calling. God bless you, and we look forward to hearing from you again. Bye for now. Bye.
Yeah, God bless you also.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. 866-972-7247. Let's pull a question from our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see who else we've got in our question feed before we go back to the phone lines right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Who do we have here on our Facebook and our YouTube feed? Let's take a look. On YouTube, we've got T. Phillips. And T. Phillips is like, hey, Sarah, will I ever have true love? That's a great question. So, will you ever have love? You will have love. And you've had versions of love, but they have not met the expectation of what you would like to have in a partner because you've literally been recruiting down. So now it's a time for you, T. Phillips, to really eyeball what it is you want from a partner. Really give it a good look over and make a note of writing down all the qualities you'd love that partner to be. And then, of course, since you're showing up and expecting them to be these qualities, and that's what you're attracting, then please, you work on being those qualities yourself. And as you work on being those qualities yourself within self, you then begin to be this magnet of attracting this divine partner. And T. Phillips, where you are in this journey this year is about letting your balance be known and finding that flow within yourself and letting go of past hurts and expectations of things that are not in alignment with all the things that you have learned. You are a creature of habit yourself. And T. Phillips, it's time for you to be open to the new possibilities of new love and let go of the story of the past hurt, particularly when I take you back into the energy of the 2019. This seems like it was a difficult time for you. And the challenges in relationships and communication at that time are still kind of imprinted and burnt into your emotional system. So letting go and letting God and trusting the universe will bring love. You are stepping into the flow of your personal balance. And from that personal balance, we do see the energy of love stepping into your frequency in these next few months. And 2024 looks like we are in love and partnership. So will it be true love? You determine that, T. Phillips, by your choice of what you choose to focus your intention and attention and how much you bring to the table of a new, fresh thought process and a fresh feeling of what love really is for you. You've learned so much through the years. Let's use it to the greater good of creating the perfect relationship for you, for where you are now on your journey. Thanks so much, T. Phillips, for your YouTube question. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we are going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me. I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, right here on VCMG on the Oldies station, at 95.9, 93.3, 106.9, 96.9, 1470 AM, and 103.1 HD3. So happy to be here with you, all listening all across the nation, driving in your cars. We love connecting with people. This past week, I was so fortunate enough to have a session with someone who was literally cruising down the highway, and they heard my voice, and they were only here in South Florida for a short period of time. They were hoping to get in, and we did have a cancellation, and they were able to have an appointment. Now, I didn't know where they had come from until I sat in the reading room, and the person who sat across from me said that they felt when they heard my voice that they were called to come see me, that there was a feeling inside that made them feel comfortable and at home, as if my voice was a safe haven for them.
And that spoke volumes to me, because here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, these 14 years, that's what we've looked to be, a safe haven for all of you to come and bare your heart and your soul and your sorrows and your joys, and for us to explore the infinite possibilities of what can be and what you can create. So the show over the years has evolved tremendously. We started back in 2009 in this 1-hour show from 8 to 9. And then throughout the years, we've expanded to 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. We've danced around with some different times, but we've always pretty much stayed in this window of time, because it seems to be the right time to reach all of you and the perfect time for all of you to connect with me. So no matter where you are across the country, we can connect. If you're local in South Florida, yes, it's a little easier. But if you feel called through the Spirit, through your soul, to call and ask a question, don't say to yourself and your personality, no, not me. I'm not going to call. People will think I'm crazy. I can assure you nobody knows who you are. But the universe does. God does. And you're being prompted, make your call. Make your call, get your guidance. There's no reason why you should navigate life alone. And even though we all have our own GPS system, our own wiring system of knowing what is the right choice for us, sometimes we just need that little pat on the head that says, we'll be okay. That confirmation, or someone to shine a light on something we haven't given thought and consideration to yet, so that we can make the best decision, the best choice. And also to know that we're not alone. Our guides and our angels are with us. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we're going to take a call from Wisconsin. I've got Fonda on the line. Fonda, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, Fonda. Good to connect to you. And this is
Thank you.
Your first time calling in? Is this your first time?
It is.
All right. Welcome. How'd you hear about the show?
I had a friend connect me with you.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I'm like a Fabergé commercial, and she told her friend, and she told her friend, and she told her friend, and here we are together.
Yeah.
So let me just open up the energy and pull in to see what they've got going for you just from the brushstroke of what I see here. Now, you've got to go down deep into the waters of who you are and understand the intricacies that is Fonda. And you are about as straight shooter, straight up kind of person as you can be. And maybe sometimes people may not always like that aspect of you, but you believe in speaking your mind and living in your truth. It's really important to you. Is that correct?
Yes, I've been struggling lately. I've been feeling kind of down.
Down and out, right? And when I look at this year, before we get into that aspect of where you are, I do want you to know that this year truly represents for you this power of kind of shifting financial outlook and kind of redesigning yourself in a work-life balance and kind of creating a better flow for yourself. So know that better times will come for you when you release the burdens of things that you've been carrying with you for quite a while. And when I spin you back, I've got to go back in time. My guides kind of spin like a wheel. And when I look at the wheel moving, they take me back to this energy of 2016 into 17. We were going through a shift and a change at that time, Fonda. Was it a little difficult for you? This was kind of the beginning of some challenges at that time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I had a rare form of leukemia at that time.
And although we've bounced back, we still haven't quite been the same. Is that true?
Right.
Yes. Life was forever changed through that one moment, but gives you a new perspective, a better understanding, and we have bounced back at this time. What is the line of questioning for me for this evening? My guides have much that they say you want to learn. So what is your question?
Yeah. I feel like I've just kind of went backwards. I do energy work, this and that, and I recently ended a relationship a few months ago after 18 years. And I just feel this heaviness about me. Right. that wasn't there before. Like I need to release things, but I'm struggling on that.
Correct. And when I look back, I have to take you back in time, if I may, Fonda. And they take me back to the age of 8. Were you living in Wisconsin at age 8?
Yeah, I've always lived in Wisconsin, yes.
And at that time, do you remember that age being particularly challenging for you, difficult? They take me back at that time. That seems to be where some limited beliefs came. A lot of this heaviness you're experiencing has nothing to do with the freeing of the relationship. It has to do with a belief, a self-talk, a belief that's within self from a very early age. So when I take you to the age of 8 and we go to the memory banks, what was going on in the family dynamic around that time?
Boy, it's hard to go back. There was 5 of us, so probably a lot going on.
Do you remember not feeling seen or heard or being passed over?
Yeah, I get that. That comes up a lot, yes.
Yes. And who's the third person in the family? Who's number 3?
The child?
Yes.
My sister.
Okay. Was there a challenge between you and your sister at one point, please?
Honestly, I honestly don't remember.
Okay. Because my guides talk to me about the number 3 and the third one in the family, right? And they make me feel as if you didn't get your own lane to be recognized. And your whole life you have devoted, your whole life to taking care of others, being there for others, showing up for others. You ended a relationship that was not giving to you. Is that true? The relationship that you were in for 18 years did not prove to be beneficial. When you look back, you were the contributory person in the entire relationship. And even though there was some give and take, for you it really wasn't fulfilling. Is that correct?
Right. He's financially supported me a lot, so, but other than that, correct, yeah.
Correct. Emotionally, it was not a connection. And
No.
so you made a transactional, transitional relationship decision that lasted 18 years. So that's quite a transition. But here's the interesting, really interesting thing about that. Some of your relationship patterning really began in partnership and patterning in 2004. We closed a chapter from 2004 to 2022. So you would have just been entering in relationship around that time with him. But I'm going to take us back one more moment here because Spirit is getting to something. They said there's much learning for you to do. I take you back to 1986 into 87. Who were you with then?
My daughter's father.
Mm-hmm. And that relationship proved to be very unfulfilling for you. Is that true? And left you feeling empty afterwards?
Yes, with the baby.
Yes. You are closing out that chapter, and there's healing to do from this 86, 87 window of time that bounces into 2004 and bounces us right into this moment of now of 2023. But really, your relationship was done in November of 2022 of the 18-year relationship. Well, it was done before then, but you really were supposed to pull the plug at the end of 2022, but it kind of lagged on a little longer, just couldn't get it all to happen in the way that would have been beneficial for you. It was a little difficult maneuvering. Is this also true?
Yes.
So now there's a journey, and we talk about words of self-talk and the journey of healing self, right? So the blood in the body is like the breath of life, right? It fuels us. It keeps us going. Without air, without blood, we would not be here. So your blood that you gave your blood, your sweat and tears for everybody, the same blood that you shared with others became the same blood that became contaminated and didn't support you and didn't allow you to feel healthy and vibrant. Now we've put this under some kind of ability to be sustained and maintained, right? And so we are in a positive vibration of health in this moment of a holding pattern. But what we have squelched in the energy has been great. And you've always been able to show up for others, and this has made you the energy worker, the communicator, the identifier of what others have not been able to accomplish for themselves. But you, my dear, you hold this powerful hurt inside that needs to heal. So I would love to just take a minute, and I want you to see yourself in the house that you were growing up in Wisconsin. Do you remember what that house looked like when you were a little girl?
Yes.
And with a large family, did you share a room? Where would you be in the household?
With 2 sisters.
In the same room, right?
Yeah.
And where did you...
It was a small house.
Ah, but it was a good house. It served its purpose.
Oh, yes. It was a good house.
And where did... My spiritual, like, small but good, Sarah. And where did you like to go, Fonda, when you were by yourself?
I remember when I was younger, we'd go to northern Wisconsin. I'd like to go down to the park. I honestly don't remember a lot of my childhood.
Because a lot of your memories are stuck. Because the way you dealt with them is to just kind of push down things and keep going. Right? Because you were very... It's all coming up. Exactly.
And
now, and it's heavy.
Really,
it is heavy.
It's affecting my life, but I think I'm attracting, because I've lowered my vibrations, just negative stuff.
Right. And that's a part of that energy of that self-talk. So writing a letter to yourself and forgiving yourself for what you feel that maybe you could have done differently would be really important for you. And going back and talking to your little girl in a little bit more of a setting, I would love to do a soul integration with you where you and I go back to the past. It's available on my website. And we talk to your little girl. And you don't need to remember all the details. We just need to rescue your little girl because she's an orphan. And now that she's alone and she's been abandoned, and now she let go of something that kind of halfway filled her cup, but now her cup feels empty and heavy like somebody put bricks in it. She's not feeling buoyant and joyful and harmonious. All the things that you would tell people to help them heal, you are feeling all the weight. Now, I know your path is not going to look this way forever. I actually feel like there's a lot of growth. No, don't hope. I'm in the land of what I see and what I know. And I just want you to believe it's possible, and then every day remind yourself that you are shifting gears to a better version of life, and you have the power to create and attract a new partner and a new experience, and to feel happy and harmonious and love. And that in this moment of now, as you think a thought that may be negative, you say, but that was then and this is now, and in the moment of now, I'm choosing to create a different outcome, a better way of being for me in my life. And as you move yourself in the direction of the life that you desire, I want you to be kind to yourself, because you are your own worst critic. Lots of things we all could have done better. But my darling, you've got a list. What are we going to do with the list?
Yeah.
Right? Beat ourselves up? So burn the list. All the things that you think you did wrong, forget it, because it brought you here, and it hasn't all been bad. But now it's brought you here for a reason, and the universe is asking you to up-level your energy and to find your new place in the great central sun. There is a new Fonda, a new way of being. But you have to create a vision of what that could be like, and then give the universe permission to up the ante, up the story, and help you, assist you in designing a new version of life. You've been just going through the motions for so long, living life doesn't really feel normal to you because you don't know what that feels like.
Right.
And when I look to the future and I fast forward you There's a great soul purpose mission that unfolds for you in the end of 2024 to 2025. So you are here to be of service, and you are here to keep light, be the light worker. But first, we have to pause, and we have to take care of self. And as you take care of self, you will come to the understanding that you were a participant in a storyline that was self-imposed, but some of it was superimposed. So some has been what you've told yourself, and other parts have been what was told to you. And you have the power to undo those storylines in your mind and in your feeling world. And as you reestablish a new life, I feel like there's new love coming, new experiences, new work coming. There's abundance that comes. So there are opportunities there. But it is to work with your little girl and let her know she is loved and she's not alone. And that you have the power inside of you to have exactly what you want. You've been so removed, I don't think you know what you want. So to write down and make a note would be good. Yes.
And I've also found that after I ended the relationship that he had learned or has known about some dark magic stuff and was sending things my way and had things attached to me very badly too.
Yeah. Well, part of that hypnotic control, it's a hypnotic suggestion, right? It's an energy, is so that they would always be in control and have power in the relationship. Yes. So.
Yeah, I'm talking about like sending like dark entities and stuff my way.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's a form of control. And it's a hypnotic, energetic suggestion that is sent in the energy. I get to help people navigate that every day. And
because I actually feel like there's something in my house right now from it. And that's what I think is helping me feel really
depressed.
Down.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So you can clear your house, and that's something, if you work with me, we can tell you what to do in the house. You may know what you know, but I help people with this every day. On my website, we have a few very inexpensive products that you use. Some I create, some are just resins that work really well for removal and helps you remove the things that are there. And when I walk in the front door and I go around towards the right, what room is that, please? Is that a living room? What is that room? Kitchen?
Okay, the living room, yeah.
And the living room, okay, because that's what I see. But in the left, towards the back, is that your bedroom?
Yes.
Very heavy energy there. Very anxious energy. Do you feel like something's looking in the hall down into your room? Do you feel like a presence there? Because that's where I see the energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Making itself known.
Correct. I can see your house. I just went there. Lovely little house. Lovely spot you have. But this energy's there. And it was his presence. You see, it was his ability to command the energy and get you to do what he wanted you to do all this time that had been building up. You just didn't realize it till you detached it, and now you're just left with the energy, and there's nothing to distract you, so you weren't paying attention to the energy. Now there's nothing that distracts you from the energy. So you're going to learn.
Is it an actual entity? Because that's what it seems like.
Yes, it is a spirit. It is a spirit. There are 3 spirits that are connected to him.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. So we go into the house and we clear the house. And that accounts for not just the depression, the heaviness, because that all needs something to hook into. So those entities and those psychic attacks, so to speak, need a place to burrow in. And it's burrowing into the wounds of your childhood, the things that made you not feel good enough or worthy, the ending of a relationship when we were with our newborn baby, right? These things that made you not feel good or worthy. These are the things that we have experience that give negativity a place to hone in and take residence in our energetic field. So there are products on my website, a custom bath that I make to clear the energy. We've become very good at this. And a couple of things to clear out the house. I know you'll feel relief. Visit my website. I do hope that you visit with me for a general session. For this minute, we are complete. We are getting ready to wind out of the show. I hope that this has been a good call for you and that you're happy that you connected with us.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime to not let it affect me so bad? Because it's really taken me out. It's affecting my job.
Yes. You can pray the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You can pray that out loud in the house. And Psalm 90, 91, and 104, that's Psalms from the book of Psalm 90, 91, and 104, they actually break spell work. Very effective. You'll probably feel very tired and eyes heavy when you go to read them because you're literally doing battle to detach from that energy and entity, but it is most effective. Thank you so much for calling, Fonda. We know that you will navigate this and you will come out smelling like a rose, and there's a whole beautiful life ahead of you. Thank you for your call. God bless you, and please keep us posted. I look forward to connecting with you. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. Write the number down. We would love to connect with you next Wednesday night as we tune up to show 684 next week. And next week we announce all the good goings on that we have coming, celebrating our 14-year anniversary. We do sure hope you join us. And next week we're going to also have a celebration. We're having our birthday, our Sarah Spiritual birthday show will be next Wednesday night, so you don't want to miss that. And I do believe we're going to try to have my friend Stacy Holler here as well. She doesn't know that yet, so hopefully she's listening. But we're going to try to have her live and tell us an insight on the month of June just a few days early before June dawns upon us. We're going to try to connect with her and get that information out for your star signs and see what's going on and happening in the planets. We appreciate your following the show. It's always a pleasure to work with each one of you. And if you would like a personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, go to sarahspiritual.com. There you have quite the selection of different types of sessions that you could have. Most people start with a general session, and you navigate the fabulous energy of the website. You'll see the products that we have. And of course, if you're local to South Florida, I would love to connect with you in person. And who knows, maybe you'll be at our big bash for our 14-year anniversary. So stay tuned for those details. Have a fabulous Memorial Day weekend. I can't believe it's upon us. And it's my birthday weekend, so you be sure to have a fabulous time. We'll be celebrating my birthday next Wednesday night with all of you, and then our 14-year anniversary later in June. So thank you, everyone, for sharing time and space with us. As always, it's a pleasure to answer your calls. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
The world is different now, and people have lost their way.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.